everyone, welcome back again to my digital diary. So, I wasn't really planning to make this video. I literally have a very different idea in mind, but something in me paused. Like, it almost feels like there's a sudden whisper in my chest saying, no, you have to speak this. So, here I am talking or speaking to those girls who's been feeling heavy. I'm tired of pretending that I'm actually okay when I'm really exhausted, type of way. I just want you to know that it is okay. You're safe. You're not alone. You're not too sensitive, and you are allowed to feel all this way. I've been thinking a lot about this idea of being behind. Like it almost feels like we are in an invisible race. Everyone wants to glow up faster. Everyone wants to heal quicker. Everyone wants to be better, be perfect. At the moment we slip, the minute we don't hit the gym, when we forget the journal or cry over something we're topper over, have some relapse or step back, we spiral. We tell ourselves we failed, like the journey is over, but everyone else is ahead. But let me ask you something. Who told you that healing is linear? Who convinced you that you have to be a walking Pinterest board so you could be worthy of rest? Who told you that in order for you to achieve a goal, there's this given and fixed formula of A, B, and C, and you will do it smoothly? Because that's a scam. Because the truth is, growth is uncomfortable. Healing is so messy. Becoming that girl is more than just a perfect routine or 5 a.m. morning routine. It's about choosing yourself over and over and over again, even when you don't recognize the person staring back at you. It's about believing that the version of you who's still figuring it out is still worthy of love, joy, and peace. It's about trusting the process even when it doesn't make sense. Honestly, there are days that I feel so put together that I could give a TED talk about setting boundaries, about self love, but there are also days that I'm stuck in my room, stuck in my rut, not doing anything, eating trashy foods in a smelly hoodie who smells like the boy who doesn't text you back. And both versions of me are real. They are both healing and both are growing. And I think that's what people forget. Healing is not linear, it's like spiral. You come back to the same wound over and over and over again. And sometimes it hurts more because you've grown enough to feel it. And that's what I want you to know. You are allowed to be a masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time. You are allowed to be wise and make the same mistake one more time. You are allowed to disappoint other people if it means not abandoning yourself. Because what's the point of growth if it doesn't feel like coming home to yourself? Most of the time, real glow up is not physical. Sometimes it's invisible, like saying no without guilt, like deleting a number and never saving it again, like finally forgiving yourself for everything that you did because you didn't know better. Sometimes it's canceling plans when you're not at peace. Sometimes it's about showing up for your friend even if you're hurting. Sometimes it's staying in bed all day if your body is asking you to slow down. And all of that is valid, all of that is necessary. Guys, you don't have to hustle your way to healing. Sometimes the bravest thing that you can do is to stop running and be still. All of that is becoming her. Becoming her means unlearning everything the world told you about your worth. It means finding beauty in your breakdown and power in your process. It's about waking up and deciding that even if you are at your worst and that you are at your lowest, you are still deserving of good things. And look, I know that the internet is making it seem like everyone has their shits together. But that girl with a perfect skincare, a clean apartment, and who wakes up at 5 a.m., she has hard days too. She has doubts too. But she doesn't feel it because she doesn't owe you that. No one owes you something to make you feel better about yourself. And I really get it because we live in a time where healing is so aestheticized. And while I love a good candlelit journaling as much as the next girl, let's not confuse vibe for a victory. Healing isn't always romantic. Sometimes it's embarrassing. Most of the time it's messy. Sometimes it's painful. Sometimes it's boring. Sometimes healing looks like doing the mundane things over and over again until it finally starts to feel safe. But you know what? That's what makes it real. The less Instagrammable part of your life are where your powers are built. The days you show up without an audience, the day you show up without validation, that's when the real transformation begins. I want you to imagine something. And imagine that version of you who is soft, kind, and free is not some distant fantasy, but already inside you. Without validation, she's not waiting for a better body or a boyfriend or a new job. She's just waiting for permission to breathe, for you to bring it to life. And sometimes the only thing standing your way is your fear. Fear of outgrowing people, fear of being alone, fear of failing, even fear of being seen. But I promise you, no one ever became her by staying safe. No one ever became her by staying comfortable. No one became magnetic by being afraid of taking up space. She is already here. You just have to let her breathe. So, no, you're not behind. You're just becoming her in real time. And you don't need to rush the process. You don't need to earn softness. You don't need to perform worthiness because you are already worthy. Right here, right now, with all your questions, with all your imperfections, you are awkward in between. The most powerful thing that you can do today is be gentle with yourself. I mean, real gentleness. I mean, letting go of the toxic narratives in your mind. I mean, giving yourself grace when you slip. I mean, saying, hey, I didn't get everything done today, but I'm still proud of me. I mean, taking up space without an apology. That kind of gentleness rewires your soul. It rebuilds the trust that you hold in yourself when the world proved to you that you need to do a lot of things for you to prove your value. You're not lazy, you're not weak, you're just exhausted from carrying all these expectations. They're not yours to hold in the first place. And maybe it's time to put them down, to let yourself breathe, to cry when you want, and to not call it weakness, to rest and not call it a failure, to stop performing and start being. You are allowed to start over. You are allowed to rewrite your story. You're even allowed to do rebirth. You are allowed to glow slow. You are allowed to change your mind. Because this is your life and you are the author of your own life story. You can close chapters that no longer serve you. You can choose softness over survival. So here's your reminder. You are not behind, you're not broken, you are not too late. You are becoming her. Soft, steady, and stronger than you ever know. And if no one told you today, I am so proud of you. Not because you're perfect, not because of everything that you did, but because you stayed here. You chose yourself over and over again. You showed up and you're still trying, and that's enough. You're enough. Oh my gosh, so I got carried away. I honestly feel like all the words that I've said was what my soul needed right now. So, yeah. And I hope that you've learned something from me, and at some point I uplifted you guys because that's literally what I want to do today. That's why I filmed. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.